Good morning, and thank you for joining me. I know how valuable your time is, so I am confident that you will find value in flex time and see all of the benefits that it has to offer ABR. I'd like to start by introducing myself. As you know, I'm Caitlin Major. I've been your executive assistant for the past 3 years, and I absolutely love being a part of the ABR team. I'm proud to be a part of a staff that is known for being knowledgeable and reliable. Our customers have grown to appreciate and count on the loyal and reliable and stable staff, and I'm thrilled to be a part of that staff. Unfortunately, however, absenteeism has been on the rise, as well as tardiness. In addition, overtime costs have been considerably high over the last several years. So in response to these issues, I would like to offer flexible scheduling, or flex time. The goals of flex time are simple. They are to reduce absenteeism and tardiness, to save ABR money, increase productivity, efficiency, and morale, and continue to support and nurture the loyalty found in ABR employees. There are multiple ways that flex time can help to reduce absenteeism and tardiness. What it does is it helps to create a work-life balance. There are many situations that distract us from our work duties, such as sick children, elderly parents, college courses. All of these things can distract us, and distractions lead to decreased productivity and morale, as well as mental and physical health strains. In addition to the absenteeism and tardiness, overtime costs add up quickly. Let me give you a quick scenario. Our accounting department has many deadlines that are due the first and last week of the month. Now those deadlines can't be changed because banking regulations and auditing regulations prohibit us from spreading out those deadlines throughout the month. So what happens is we are required to work overtime in order to make these deadlines each week of the end and beginning of each month. And when we work overtime, of course, we're paid time and a half. Now, the slower weeks of the month, weeks 2 and 3, we don't work as hard because we find it difficult to fill that 40 hours. We still get paid for 40 hours, but we don't have as much work to put into it. Now, with flex time, what happens is we would work the overtime at the beginning and end of the month, and then bank those hours rather than getting paid overtime. And then we can leave early or have shorter weeks for weeks 2 and 3 of the month. So it saves ABR approximately 30 hours for these employees in the accounting department, and for the employees that make $10 an hour, that's a $300 savings. And that's just for one employee. ABR can save this kind of money with all of our employees by reducing or eliminating overtime. Now there are many options as far as setting up flex time programs. These programs have been in place in the U.S. government since the 1970s. So what I propose based on our business trends is to implement core requirements. For example, all employees would need to be present and in their department between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Now this might be something different for every department, but what that allows is the managers of each department to adequately staff during business times so that customers don't experience any interruptions in service. It also gives the managers an opportunity to schedule staff meetings at a time when all employees are consistently present. Now beyond core time, people can choose to come in earlier so that they can leave earlier, or conversely come in later so that they can leave later. They can take shorter lunches, or as in the case of the accounting department, work 50 hours a week and then 30 hours a week, just so that they're able to bank their hours and then use them on the slower weeks. Or for the employees that work Saturday, they can take a half day off during the week, and they won't get overtime, but they will get an opportunity to run errands that maybe they couldn't otherwise do. Now there are some administrative duties and tasks that would need to be performed in order to get this program up and running. First is to create a survey which would allow employees to indicate their preference as far as their ideal schedule. That survey would be distributed via email to save the company time and money. And then I would collect all of those surveys by about mid-February. So that would allow the managers of each department to evaluate the surveys and create a workable schedule for his department. Around the middle of March, we'll have a staff meeting in which the managers outline the program, making sure that all employees know how it works, what their responsibilities are, and how they will be held accountable. And then hopefully, using this schedule, the program would be implemented by April 1st, just in time for a new quarter. The budget on this is minimal. There would be, of course, some one-time startup costs. The administrative costs for creating and distributing the survey, the costs involved with the managers reviewing the surveys and putting it all into action, these type of costs. Now, the cost, as I said, is minimal, and it would be approximately $562 for a one-time cost. Now, in addition, there would be some annual maintenance costs involved. The annual maintenance costs would be approximately $1126. And these costs would entail the extra duties for the payroll department to make sure that the hours tie at the end of each month, the extra duty on the managers to make sure that each of their employees is meeting the minimum hour requirements. But as you can see, these are minimal time requirements and minimum budget requirements as well. Now, based on last year's overtime expenses of just over $9,100, you can see that the approximate savings for ABR for the first year of this program would be $7,465. And that's the first year. Each year thereafter, it would be even more or greater savings. And at this time, I'd like to take some questions.
Yes. I like the idea of the flex time and the concept behind it, but it sounds like employees are going to be coming and going all different times. How do you plan on keeping track of the employees' hours?
That's a great question. I propose that Rick Black in our IT department create a clock or a time clock on our intranet so that all employees can clock in and out, and everything will be stored on our electronic database so it's easy for the managers to access.
Okay, thank you. Also, I do like the idea as well. How do you plan on measuring whether this program is a success or failure?
That's also a great question. I propose that the managers meet with their employees quarterly to make sure that their responsibilities are still being met, that they're putting in the minimum number of hours, and also to check in with the employee to make sure that it's working and to help create that work-life balance, which is ultimately one of the main goals with this program. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to helping implement this program to make it a great success.